What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jobber Radio. We're going to be talking about the JRPL. There's been a lot of things going down and a lot of new and interesting developments, I should say, that has come forth to the JRPL. So, first and foremost, I think we should start with the Money in the Bank results and the power rankings, which are brand new to the JRPL. So let's go over real quick. Let's go over the Money in the Bank results. Now, we're not going over every single match. We're going to touch on the highlights, the main card, and a couple other things that are interesting to note. So first of all, let me look down here. A couple newcomers. Nathan 8K debuted that weekend. Frenchie debuted that weekend. AK debuted that weekend. So we had so did Brandon and a couple other people. A lot of wins for the newcomers here. Got wins over Adonex, which is a big win. Alaska Brown, that's a win. Or Stella, which is another newcomer. So we got a lot of new blood, a lot of fresh blood in the JRPL, which is always fun to see. So that's down at the bottom of the card. Tom took a big loss to Green Machine, which was, I think that started the main card. And then we got JD beating 3J Platinum. I think that's the, second time they fought, maybe third. We had a random four-way match. This was a non-title match for Vitamin Yes. Vitamin Yes is the ultra-violent champion, but this was not on the line. And Hito Sheen Moses picked up a big win over the current UV champion, the former Top Block champion, and one of the leaders, I guess I should say, one of the leaders of Blissful Enigmas, Redhead. Then we got into the Tournament of Death action. We're going to talk about that real quick. Cam Popplestone walked in as the Road Warrior champion, and would you know it, he beat three other competitors and moved on in the tournament and still held on to that title, which he will have to defend every single show. More on that in a little bit. So, huge win for Cam Popplestone. Continues his giant streak he's on right now. And defeats Breaker, Banksy, and the Shockmaster. Also, in tournament action, we had Cross. He beat Baron Ash, Kyoko, and Fart Bucket. Some people were saying this was the jobber, the jobber bracket between these four, but you know what? Either way, it's fun to have some jobbers in there from every once in a while. And look at that, Cross gets the win over the three relatively newcomer. I guess Fart Bucket's not really new anymore, but Kyoko and Baron are still pretty new. So congrats to Cross. He also is continuing a hot streak. And speaking of hot streaks, your brand new Top Block champion who just won over Tom back at, I believe it was Chicago. Let me see. That was the night before. Let me just open it up real quick. I think it was pretty confident that was at Chicago. Yes. Yep. He won 32, 29, 26 over Tom and the Hebrew Hammer. So, anyway, big four-way win here. All of these, by the way, were death matches, which is hard enough to win as it is. He beat CM Carlito, former world champion Tino, and the Hebrew Hammer. Victory Green and the Hebrew Hammer have a lot of bad blood between the two. It all stemmed back from, what was it? It wasn't Chicago. What was the show? Backlash. It all stemmed back at Backlash, and things have been boiling over as of late. Victory Green has basically been stealing wins. Hebrew Hammer has been doing the damage. He basically laid out Tom at Chicago in that triple threat title match. Hebrew Hammer took Tom out, was about to win. Victory Green grabbed him, threw him out of the ring, stole the pin, basically. And Victory Green is one of the bigger baby faces in the company, so a lot of controversy there. This match, pretty much the same thing, except he stole the win pretty much from Tino, who destroyed CM Carlito with a bunch of light tubes, and he took his head off. It was brutal. But in the end, Victory Green came in, knocked Tino out, and took the win over CM Carlito. So Victory Green back-to-back nights, basically, at Chicago and Money in the Bank, stealing wins, and now is moving on in the tournament, and he's also a Top Block champion. So we have two champions, Cam Popplestone and Victory Green, who have advanced in the Tournament of Death. Very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see where it goes after that, because at, I believe it's going to be NXT Brooklyn, TakeOver Brooklyn, these three, Victory Green, Cross, and Cam Popplestone, will face off in a triple threat death match to see who advances to the finals at SummerSlam to fight in a Hell in a Cell match. And that's the finals of Tournament of Death too. So you're look there. You already know pretty much your match for the next round. Cross, Victor Green, and Cam Popplestone. Place your bets now on who advances. So we had The Solution take on Imperium. Nate Myers, XIVILI. It's always hard to say. They unfortunately did not succeed in a victory over the Warden and Beer Me Jesus. This was a submission match, but everybody got their 1 point right, so it all came down to points. And look at those monster points, 95-92. The Solution squeak out the victory. They basically had to do a double team move onto, I think it was, oh man, I actually forget. Let's go down super quick. Let's see who the double team move was on. We'll go down in tag team title match. Click it. This is your little description. You need to read these. Let's see, beer lock after a few seconds. XIVILI was forced to verbally submit to the ref. So they locked in the double submission maneuver to XIVILI and forced him to verbally tap out. The big man had to submit, and your champions still The Solution, Beer Me Jesus, and the Warden. Now, they're the champions. Let's see who came in, wow, and won the huge tag team Money in the Bank match. 8 teams all looking to get the win and capture that Money in the Bank briefcase where they can cash in any time they want. And look at this. Wouldn't you know it? The underdogs did come out on top. Team No Chance, Buck N5, Lily Pilly pulled down the briefcase. They won the match. Now, during the show, because in order to win a ladder match, you have to get 5 picks in a row correct. Now, there were several people that was one match away. I know Bastion was one because I was pumped up. There was a couple other people that were one match away. They got their first 4 matches right on the show, and then I believe Alexa Bliss ended up winning the match on the actual WWE show. And the only person that had 4 picks right and then Alexa Bliss was Buck N5. So Buck N5 got the very first 5 matches right on that WWE show. And that was all she wrote, guys. That's all you needed to pull down the briefcase. Buck N5, Lily Pilly now have a title shot anytime they want at any show they want. If they want to do it at a house show, they can do it as long as The Solution or whoever at the time they cash in is, in a match or around at that point in time. So either way, as the champions, even if it is the underdogs and a team that's not very established yet, you need to have your head on a swivel and be watching out because it could happen at any point in time. And there is a 10-point advantage when you cash in. So automatically you're down 10 points as the champions, which is never a good thing. Then, moving on, we had a 5-way match for the singles Money in the Bank match because little controversy here, okay? Over at TakeOver Chicago, there were 6 qualifying matches, and I was not around to count up the scores when the show was done because I was visiting my parents for Father's Day. And basically somebody told me that there was a, hold on, let's look at the actual thing so I can remember exactly what I'm talking about here. I know it involved Broken Nerd. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay, here we go. This is what it was. First of all, Broken Nerd versus Peanut Is My Bitch. I was told Peanut Is My Bitch was victorious. So we advanced Peanut Is My Bitch. He went on to be in the Money in the Bank match and all that. Everything happened. As you can see, there was no Broken Nerd in this match. He was down here on the undercard, actually, and he got a win over Captain Charisma. But, yeah, something doesn't add up. Yeah, because when I did the scores, it ended up being a tie. So, unfortunately, Broken Nerd kind of got screwed out of this match. So what we had to do is storyline purposes, and again, this is semi my fault because I wasn't around, so I couldn't do the official scores at the time. I went off of, I think, what Woody and some other guys were saying the score was. So Unfortunately, Broken Nerd missed out on that match, and Peanut is My Bitch advanced into that match. But that spawned off this crazy story now where Broken Nerd, he's always been screwed. He's always been cheated. He says he's been cheated. Everyone thought he was paranoid, but now he actually is legitimately being cheated out of a match. So it puts a little more legitimacy behind his claims and everything. So that's going to be interesting going forward. And he was not happy with Peanut is My Bitch. He's not happy with Woody. He's not happy with anybody right now. Broken Nerd is out for some vengeance, I guess you can say. And that basically happened in this match. The reason it was a six-way because Matt Zion and Rab fought in the other qualifying match. Rab won, but both of these guys decided to no-show and forget about Money in the Bank, which happens to be one of like the big 5 pay-per-views of the year. So yeah, basically that's how this turned into a 5-way because Rab just straight up no-showed. And if we would have knew about the tie, we could have had Broken Nerd here, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. So either way, Broken Nerd came in and took Peanut is My Bitch out. He laid him out, took him out of the equation. Peanut is My Bitch had no chance to win the match after that. It basically turned into a 4-way ladder match where Crimson Cyborg ended up picking up the win. And what a massive win for him over Bionic Knee, Woody, Bomber, and Peanut is My Bitch. Some heavy hitters in here, but it was one of the originals. We're talking one of the original tag teams, the first ever tag team champion, Crimson Cyborg, picked up the win. He is Mr. Money in the Bank. Then we went to the biggest controversial moment of the night. Now, believe it or not, the Money in the Bank was not the most controversial moment. It was Legit Boss defeating the world champion John in a death match. So, back it up super quick. Over at TakeOver Chicago, we had a 6-man tag match. We had the Solution, Warden, John, Beer Me Jesus, defeated Legit Boss, XIVI, and Nate Myers. The stipulation was the winning team got to pick the stipulations over their opponent. So, that's why Warden and Beer Me Jesus picked submission match over these guys. And then John, who I was told never talks to the group. He doesn't communicate. He doesn't say anything. That he's not going to pick his stipulation. So Woody came to me and said, hey, the rest of us voted and we want it to be a death match. And I said, as long as everybody's good with it, you are the booker. I can make it happen. You're the one that chooses these things. I'm simply the puppet at this point because I lost my match at Wrestlemania. So, I'll do what you want. So don't be blaming me, John, if you're watching this video. So anyway, I said, okay, you want a death match? You guys voted on it. You guys said it's cool. Let's do it. So it was booked. Death match. John ended up losing by 4 points to Legit Boss. Now, after the calculations, come to find out, John would have won if it wasn't a deathmatch stipulation. That is interesting because he contacted me on Twitter and said, hey, I want to name my stipulation, but it was too late. I was out of town. I wasn't checking my Twitter, and the deathmatch was already signed and put into place. So John did not want a deathmatch, but it ended up being a deathmatch because his stablemates picked it, and he lost his title where he would not have originally lost his title if it was not a death match. Do you see what happened here? So, storyline-wise, Woody also made it a special referee match where Woody himself was the special referee. Kayfabe-wise, if you go down and read the write-up, which was a really lengthy, intense write-up, which you need to check out if you haven't. Basically, bottom line is John got pissed at Woody, and Woody got pissed at John in the match because John couldn't finish Legit Boss off. So there was a little miscommunication. Something happened here. Woody thought John hit him. John didn't really hit him, but then Legit Boss rolled John up, and Woody quick counts John out. Woody basically screws John over in multiple ways. He picked the death match. He didn't want the death match. Well, I'd assume he wasn't going to pick death match. I don't know. He never really officially told me. And then he quick counts him in the match, giving Legit Boss, their enemies, their rivals at that time, the World Championship. The JRPL World Championship moves over to Legit Boss and Imperium, at Money in the Bank. Talk about a controversial way to end the night. One of the Big Five shows. A lot of just craziness went down in this entire show. It was just a really good show. So congrats to everybody showing up. And we're going to move over really quick and talk about the power rankings, which really quick, I'll tell you about the power rankings if you didn't read this little write-up. There's going to be multiple things that go into this power rankings. It's not all strictly stat-based, like, hey, so-and-so points, this guy's won this match, and whatnot. It is a mixture. It does have to do with points. It does have to do with wins and like streaks and stuff like that. But it also involves kayfabe. So it's a weird mixture. It's a little hybrid. So you're not going to see like if somebody's down, if somebody's 6-0 and somebody's 5-0, but they're in a main event, you're going to have the guy that's 5-0 over the guy that's 6-0 if they're in the main event scene a little bit higher up on the thing, if that makes any sense. Either way, it's more for kayfabe purposes and just to make things more interesting. Now, here's another thing. House shows will not affect this the power rankings. So, for example, we just had, what was it, Best in the World, which is a house show. That will not change the power rankings. That is another difference between house shows and main shows. The only thing that counts are all WWE shows and all NXT shows. Nothing else, no Ring of Honor, no Impact, none of those will affect these. So if you're plugging away and you keep losing, but you are having fun watching Ring of Honor, don't worry about it affecting the power rankings. I think that's pretty much it as far as stuff I want to explain, besides they're broken down into faces, heels, and tweeners. I've been taking suggestions. Feel free, comment in the comment section below for more suggestions. One thing that I think that I really did like, somebody wanted to see a tag team power rankings, maybe below this. Obviously, there's not as many tag teams, but it would be nice, I guess, to see where your team's ranking up against the other teams. So that could be fun. I think we probably will incorporate that at some point. But these will come out after main shows. There's not a set day for these to come out. They will come out after main show events. Like after Extreme Rules, the next power rankings will come out with the people adjusted. You see these little green arrows. These are just placeholders for right now. These are up arrows. There's down arrows, and there's also little dashes to show like somebody didn't move or didn't go up or down in the rankings. So just right off the top of the board, the number one face in the company right now is the Warden, tag team champion, part of the solution. And then heels, number one heel, obviously legit boss, taking the world championship away from John. And then the tweeners, he's been a face this entire time. But guys, as of late, Victory Green has been showing a lot of tweener tendencies. He's been stealing those victories as of late when we know he's good. It's people aren't really sure where he lies. The same with Woody. Woody has been a face with the solution for the most part. Yes, they do some shady tactics and all that. Yes, we understand that. But overall, the solution are loved by the fans. And after screwing over John, guys, Woody has landed himself separate from his stablemates over in the tweener category. So, yeah, a lot of other stuff. We'll break it more down in detail in these little, if you click on the little blurbs down at the bottom, there'll be some stuff talking about certain things. Again, this was the very first article, so not a whole lot to talk about. There's going to be more who went up, who went down, who dropped, who skyrocketed. All that kind of stuff will be more to come after Extreme Rules, so be sure to check that out. I hope you guys enjoy the power rankings. Again, always looking for feedback on everything here in the JRPL. Hit me up in the comment section or at Jobber Radio on Twitter. We'll check that out. So, let's talk about Best in the World again really quick, and then we'll move on to Extreme Rules. The main event, Woody versus Crimson Cyborg in a hardcore match with Woody's whole, I guess, end of his run as GM is kind of filled with controversy. Woody and Crimson Cyborg, this match was for the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. So if Woody won, he is going to be Mr. Money in the Bank, which, as you see, he did. If he lost, he would have lost his spot in the Tournament of Death, as well as lost an opportunity at any title in the JRPL for 3 full months. Excuse me. Now look at this. 26-18, Woody victorious. Crimson Cyborg out. He is no longer Mr. Money in the Bank. Woody, on his last night as GM, gives himself the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't know how to tell you guys how much controversy is swirling around Woody right now, but as always, it is. And not only we got to talk about what happened in this show. So Woody's just about to celebrate, everything is good, and then out comes the Ultraviolent Connection. They come down, they beat up Crimson Cyborg, they beat up Woody, and Bastion ends up breaking Crimson Cyborg's arm. Crimson Cyborg is out indefinitely in the JRPL as of right now, or as of that night, I should say. So who knows when we're going to see Crimson Cyborg out. His arm was completely shattered by Bastion, who, as a lot of people are saying in Discord, wow, top heel in the company. You can't get worse than that. He cut out a guy's eye. He helped possibly kill Gourds, and now he's breaking people's arms. So, yes, Bastion is a bad mamma jamma, and he just took Crimson Cyborg out indefinitely. Meanwhile, Woody was about to get it himself, but out came the awesome hooded motherfuckers. They came out for the save. Out came Imperium. They came out to block them. And then guess who didn't show up? Everybody decided to show up except the Solution. No John. No Warden. No Beer Me Jesus. Woody was left to defend himself. Yes, he did have allies come down, but his own teammates did not come down to save him while he was getting beaten, possibly about to get his arm broke. It happened to be one of the most surprising people to come out and help him, the Outsiders. Scott and Lee came down, saved Woody from getting his arm broke. And what does that mean? We know they're not good guys. We know they hate everybody, but why would they come out and help Woody? Are they turning good? Are they aligning themselves with Woody? Or is it just they just hate Bomber so much? There's so many questions that haven't been answered that we're going to have to find out in the upcoming shows. So we're going to see how that shakes out. All we know, bottom line, is Crimson Cyborg out indefinitely, and Woody took the Money in the Bank briefcase away from him, and he is now in possession of that briefcase. So, yeah. Moving on, we had a big 5-way match, Road Warrior title. Cam Popplestone did it again. This time, he beat 4 people in one match. Lee, Spring Tiger, CM Carlito, and Bastion all in one match. Only won by 3 points. Tight victory, but you know what? Even if it was by 1 or if it was a draw, he defended his title, and he will go on to Extreme Rules to defend his title. So, Legit Boss took on Vitamin Yes. We had the world champion take on the UV champion, the Ultraviolent champion, and a pretty decisive victory here, 40-27. The world champion got the win. And then we had the Blissful Enigmas all facing off in a fatal 4-way. They wanted this match. They asked for this match. And please, if you haven't already, please go read this little write-up down here, because there is a purpose for this match that they requested. So they all decided to put the same picks in, and all went to a no contest. Now, first and foremost, there's no rule against that. People were saying this needs to be prevented. There's no way to prevent that. They all talk to each other. They all do communications. If they want to submit their picks and have a no contest, I mean, they can do it. It doesn't help them. It doesn't hurt them. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. And that's what they did. And their reason behind it is in protest of Woody's booking. This was Woody's last night as Booker. They said they've been held down. Again, go down and read the write-up. They've been held down. They're tired of Woody helping himself, helping all his friends, and everybody. While they're winning matches, they should be on the main card. They just kept nonstop getting on the undercard, and they weren't happy about it. So they decided to stick it to Woody. They got a big high-profile match, and they made sure they went to a no contest. So at the end of their match, Woody came out, and he was like, you know what? This is the reason why you guys are not on the main card. And then they got assaulted. Bomber came out, and the Blissful Enigmas joined Bomber's alliance, which, if you read the end of the show, Bomber has coined his group the Ultra Violent Alliance, which is the UVC, Imperium, Tino, now the Blissful Enigmas. It used to be Team No Chance, but they kind of backed away, kind of eliminated themselves from the equation. So they're on their own. They're completely out of everything. And yeah, also Bionic Knee is a part of the Ultraviolent Alliance. Bomber is building an army to go to war against Woody, the Solution, and all of their allies. So things are building up, and it's about to get interesting. So either way, we had Bionic Knee beat Scott in a pretty good match, 37-30, good scores there. But then match of the night, Super Hippo defeated Bomber, myself. Yeah. Hey, it's been a while since I had match of the night. I figured I might as well do it with Super Hippo, who becomes the first person, by the way, to have 5 match of the night appearances. That was an achievement, so we got that. And this match right here, it wasn't meant to be. It was supposed to be the Warden versus John, but John no-showed in protest of, the Solution and Woody's stuff. So the Warden had Beer Me Jesus, his normal tag team partner, come out. And we had the tag team champs take on Broken Nerd and Baron Ash, who have been working together for a while. But this was their first time they teamed up. And they didn't do that bad. They only lost by 7 points to the champs. So, that's not that bad. You can't get pissed at that. GMSG picked up a big win by 1 point here over Hiro Sheen Moses. JD beat Wookie again. This was a rematch from their Wrestlemania match where Wookie took the Road Warrior title from JD. And look at that, 31-17. Big victory there. Let's go down a couple other highlights. Green Machine, 31 points over the newcomer, Mr. Heel Allen, in a death match. And that 31 points right there put Green Machine as the first JRPL superstar to hit the 1,000 point mark. Huge milestone for the Green Machine. Congrats on that. A couple other things. Let's see, what do we got? We had a submission match where Banksy got a win over Fart Bucket. That's always fun. We had Jack Boy defeat Cade Gailey for his debut, and El Santos defeated the Shockmaster in his debut. So we had 3 debuts here. We had Mr. Heel Allen. Woody's the meanest person in the world, put Mr. Heel Allen against the number 1 person ranked in points in a death match in his first match ever. That's pretty cruel and unusual punishment, I feel. But yeah, that was best in the world. It was a house show. There was a lot more storyline elements that went into the show, so it was kind of a big deal. It was Woody's last show, and I should say we only can go up from here. Am I right? I think I'm right. So let's move on to talk about what's happening at Extreme Rules. Sorry if this video is getting a little long. We had a lot to talk about and a lot to recap. So we're almost done, don't worry. Here we go. Extreme Rules, July 15th. The card already has 7 matches on it. We're 2 weeks away. So who knows? I heard they might be going to 4 hours. We might have 10 matches on this damn thing. We will see. First of all, in our main event, Iron Man match rules, the Green Machine puts the Top Block title on the line against the Hebrew Hammer, who he's been having serious beef with. This should be I think this is going to be a great main event. I'm booking it as my first main event, so you know it's going to be good, goddammit. But for real, it's gonna be a good match. I don't know who is gonna win. The Hebrew Hammer has not lost in singles competition in one-on-one matches. His only losses have came in multi-man matches, which happened most recently. So we're gonna see if he can rebound and get a win, or if Victory Green is gonna be able to just go through and steamroll and become, who knows, maybe the next Super Hippo as far as defending his title and Top Block titles go. So we'll see. And then a match that has been boiling over for a while. Woody's been kind of building this up for a bit now. The UVC, the Ultraviolent Connection, Jut 9, and Bastion taking on the Outsiders, Lee and Scott. This is kind of a high-profile match. This is almost a SummerSlam quality match. I was thinking about saving it for SummerSlam, but I think now's the time. Now is the time to do it. Jut 9 and Bastion versus Lee and Scott. Why not do it at Extreme Rules in the second highest match on the show? This could be a fucking match of the night caliber match here. So a lot of storyline implications and stuff going into this match, and a lot of bad blood here. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have the Tournament of Death, which has already been predetermined by Woody. So it's going to bleed over here into my booking, you son of a bitch. But for real, Woody versus Legit Boss versus Cammy Cat versus Broken Nerd. Very interesting things here. Obviously, Woody quick counted and gave Legit Boss the title. We don't know what kind of alliance. Are they mad at each other? They can't be happy because they still fought a little bit after at the end of Best in the World. So they're not on good terms, but Legit Boss kind of owes a little bit to Woody, yet Woody has that Money in the Bank briefcase. He could cash in here at Extreme Rules. There's no telling. And then you had Broken Nerd, who's pissed at Woody because he screwed him over in the Money in the Bank match. Or he screwed him out of being in that Money in the Bank match. And then you have Cammy Cat, who we have unfortunately not heard of. She hasn't been on Discord in a while. We haven't heard anything from Cammy Cat. She's no-showed the last couple shows. She's been booked like a little far out in advance, so there was no way of knowing she would be no-showing and we wouldn't be able to hear from her. So right now she's in the match. If she does show up, of course, everything's fine. She will be in the match. If not, she will be replaced, and that person is to be determined. We will have to figure it out when we get there. Now that I'm the booker, I get to fill the gap. So who knows? Hopefully she shows up. She's been a mainstay here for a while, and we hope we don't lose her. So best of luck to her showing up. And then we got the next round. We got the Green Machine versus Redhead 12 versus Bomber versus JD. A lot of interesting elements coming into this match in the Tournament of Death. Green Machine and Bomber fought not too long ago. JD and Bomber fought over the first ever Road Warrior title, where Bomber helped JD get the win. He gave it to him to show his loyalty for Team No Chance being in the Ultraviolent Alliance, which wasn't called that at the time, but that's basically what they were. And then JD basically says, "Fuck you, Bomber. I never wanted to be in your alliance." So they left, and that's got bad blood between these two. And then you got Redhead, who recently just joined the alliance. So many elements coming into this match. There's no telling what is going to happen and who is going to walk out the winner in this match right here. And then you get to the next match in Tournament of Death. Woody versus Otis, the formerly tag team Woodus. Also, Hiroshin Moses versus Bionic Knee. In a four-way match, two former tag teams, they both disbanded at the same time. Wookie and Otis disbanded, mutual. They have no bad blood at all. They respect each other. They said they'll always help each other out when it comes time. So, will they team up in this match? We will see. But then you have Hito and Bionic Knee, who fucking hate each other. These guys, they recently just main evented at TakeOver Chicago to see who went on to Money in the Bank. Bionic Knee got the win, and the referees and the staff had to pull him off of Hito because he wouldn't let up on him. So now in a death match, who is going to walk out of this bad boy and be the winner? Three very high-profile Tournament of Death matches. So who is going to advance? And the thing is, whoever wins out of each match will face off in the next round. We'll have a triple threat out of the three winners. So you already have that to look forward to. These are three really high-profile Tournament of Death matches. I hope you guys are ready for that. Then we got John versus XIVILI. John looking to get a little bit of revenge on Imperium after losing his championship. It's not against Legit Boss, but to him, it's the next best thing. They were there when it happened, so John is out to get revenge on somebody that kind of cost him the championship. And like I said, Camp Popplestone has been beating everybody. He beat 3J Platinum. I think it was 3J Platinum be the champion. Yeah, I think it was. And then he won a 4-way Tournament of Death match. And then he won a 5-way match at Best in the World. Now he's finally in a one-on-one match against Adinex, a member of the Blissful Enigmas, who has really been a solid competitor in the JRPL. I think he's been severely underlooked. So we will see what happens here. Can Cam keep up the streak, or will Adinex be the guy to break that streak? We will see. And then we got two hardcore matches here. Kind of, I don't know, kind of lumped in together because we have the tag team TB666 and Tagaby taking on the Solutions, Beer Meat Jesus, and the Warden, both in singles action and both in hardcore matches. I will state this right now. There are no clear number one contenders for the JRPL tag team titles right now, besides obviously your Money in the Bank winners, Team No Chance. But if TB666 and Tagaby both win their singles matches in these hardcore matches, they will receive a tag team title shot immediately. They will become the number one contenders if they win these singles matches. Not just one, both. They both have to win this match, each match, to become the number one contenders. It's a little unconventional, you know. I mean, obviously it's not in tag team action, but this is what I'm gonna do. So there you go. That's the stipulations basically behind these matches, the unofficial stipulations there. And then you have Vitamin Yes versus Tom in a non-title match. Tom again not putting his title up on the line. This is for storyline purposes. I know Tom. Did I say Tom not putting his title? Vitamin Yes not putting his title on the line. And it's not that he doesn't want to or anything like that, but storyline purposes, it just doesn't make sense at this point in time. But don't worry, we're gonna have it happen soon. So don't think he's gonna go 5 months without defending his title. He will put it on the line soon, just not here. But he will be going against Tom. I will say, if Tom wins, Tom might be looking pretty good for a title match. We'll see. And then in the undercard, we got the tag team of Finish going against the awesome hooded motherfuckers, Spring Tigers and the GMSG, former tag team champions, trying to get some momentum going back on their side after losing that Money in the Bank match. Then we got Cross versus Tino. On paper, Tino, huge favorite. We'll see if he can beat Cross, who's been looking really good as of late. Then we got 3J Platinum versus Buck N5, two originals going at it. And then we have Nate Myers versus Alaska Brown. Nate Myers trying to get some wins back under his belt. Alaska Brown always just looking to get wins in general. Then we have Daddy Kink going up against CM Carlito and Super Hippo. Okay, so the reason that these two are on a tag team again is because I am not a fan. I'm not a big fan of one-hit wonder tag teams that take place, and Woody kind of booked them as a tag team out of nowhere. I wasn't super happy about it, but either way, it doesn't matter. He was the booker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if, who knows, maybe this is going to be a thing. They lost by just like a couple points, so it was a very close match that they lost. Maybe they can be a tag team. I don't know. I'm open to see what happens. We'll see what happens and see if they can beat the tag team of Daddy Kink. On paper, you think they should, but either way, who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm willing to give it a chance. We're gonna see where it goes. I just really hate one-hit wonders. Come on now. Hardcore match: Nathan 8K versus Fart Bucket. This has some storyline behind it, guys. Fart Bucket came out, interrupted Nathan 8K's musical performance for his debut. A lot of bad blood. Nathan 8K said, "You know what, Fart Bucket? You and me, hardcore match, Extreme Rules. We'll see what goes down." So. Who knows? Maybe Fart Bucket will get the win and embarrass Nathan AK even more, or maybe Nathan AK will put Fart Bucket in his place, as I think a lot of people are kind of expecting because it's Fart Bucket. Lily Pilly versus Kyoko, just a straight up singles match here, looking for some momentum on their side. Hardcore match. This is Matt Zion and Rab versus the Eloquent Enigmas. Both teams, not a lot of wins. Okay, both teams, I think they have one total win to their tag team. So two bottom tag teams trying to look to get some wins and get some momentum to work their way up the tag team ladder. And I think it was Jonathan CT Martin that hit me up and said, "Yo, hey, this is Extreme Rules. We want to fight in a hardcore match. We want to be extreme at this show." So I said, "Okay, sure, why not? Let's do it." So there we go. So it's a hardcore match to see who wants it more. And then we got Bear Nash versus Peanut is my bitch 69. Again, Peanut is my bitch 69. He got beat up by Broken Nerd, lost the Money in the Bank match because of Broken Nerd. And now Broken Nerd's buddy, ally, whatever you want to call him, is now going to take on Peanut is my bitch to maybe try to put a little exclamation point on that beatdown. Breaker versus Captain Charisma. bringing up the rear here, as well as Peanut or Stella, Frenchie versus Shockmaster, Accelerator 27 versus Banksy, CJ Blackthorn versus Cade Gailey, whatever it is. I can never tell. I assume it's Gailey. So, yeah, I guess there are really these 5 matches here. A lot of the guys on the bottom of the power rankings, on the bottom of the rankings just in general, trying to get wins and move their way up the card. A couple people down here not booked yet. AK not booked. There's going to be a lot of newcomers, I hope, because of the past couple shows. I'm going to wait to see if they submit their picks. AK will probably face one of the newcomers. Jay Scott has been no-showing for a while now. He's been a staple in the JRPL. He's, I believe, one of the originals. That's going to break my heart to see him no-show if he does. And Zozo, you never know. She's on Discord. She shows up sometimes. She doesn't show up sometimes. She's the writer of a wrestling blog now or something. I don't know. We'll see. I always just put her schedule up here just in case. So that's what we're looking at, guys. That is Extreme Rules. That's what's been taking place. I know this video went super long, but thank you for sticking with it if you did. And after that, right after that, the next week, I believe, is we're going to have Summer Slammiversary. It's going to be in Canada, and there's going to be a bit Ultimate X match, which right now we're going to have to remove Crimson Cyborg out of that match with that broken arm. So maybe a triple threat Ultimate X match, which has never been done before. Who knows? Maybe I'll decide to throw another motherfucker in there. Or I don't know. We'll see what happens. A lot can happen between now and July 22nd. That's what, 20 days away? A little more than 20 days away? So, yeah, and a couple other matches. Again, nothing important yet. These are all just house show matches. So, matches people have requested. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see who goes on to defend the Road Warrior title. It's either going to be Camp Papa Stone once again, or it's going to be Adanex. And it will be a singles match, no multi-man match at Slammiversary. I will guarantee you that much. So, I think that's it, guys. This video went really long. The only thing I'm going to say, you need to go read the little article. It's short. It's sweet. The Solution celebrates 1 year. At Extreme Rules, there's going to be a celebration party for the Solution. They're going to celebrate, hey, we've been around for 1 year, because they did form at Extreme Rules in 2017. But with all the controversy, Woody screwing out John, the rest of the guys not coming to help Woody, things are going to get pretty interesting. We're going to see who aligns with who. We're going to see if they all make up together. We're going to see if they split off. Who knows? They could all go separate. There's no telling what's going to happen. All I know is you're going to need to tune in and find out. You need to read those write-ups after the show and at the bottom of the results and see what goes down. But that's it. Again, my throat's fucking destroyed. I've talked for like an hour and a half. I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you haven't already and somehow you stumbled across the video and you're still around, sign up for the JRPL if you haven't. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Bye.